Hello everybody, welcome back to another video about Logic Forge. So last time we set it up so that you can actually see the console output right here when you click different buttons. And today we're going to be working on more functionality with event listeners and also vectors. So let's get started. So let's start by taking a look at the logic editor again. So if I go and click right here, you can see that we have one subnode inside this node right here, which is the fire1 down equals false. But we can actually have multiple different subnodes inside here. So I'm going to move this over to make it a bit more organized, just like that, and this. And then what we can actually do is go and click and add another input action. So I'm going to click on this and let's go to jump. We can have jump, and then when you press down on jump, which is usually the space bar, we can have something trigger. And also, we can keep on adding more and more that we want to, which we will do in a second. But first I want to drag this over and add another log event. So for this log event, we can rename it to something more useful, such as print when space pressed. And then we can hook this up just like we did before. And again, remember, we attach it to the clock event. So it's like a heartbeat that whenever this is triggered, then it goes and triggers this. But we will also need to make sure that this is enabled. And then, just like before, we had a message right here. And what we can do is we can add another variable and another local one. So let's just do that. And let's click on this variable and create a new variable. So you see the choice right here that we can select var, which is the variable that we created before, but we want to create a new one. And we want to add it as a string again. Now we have to name this variable, so we will want to name it something different. We can name it space message, or actually let's name it jump message 1 and press OK. And then we can set the content of the message, and we can either set it right here or we can go over here and then set the message. So we can say space pressed down. Perfect. So again, we can go over here and make sure that we enable this and then connect this up. So the outputted message for when you press space is going to be whatever the message in the variable jump message 1 is. All right, I'm just going to press Control S to save, and then let's press play. We're back in the game here, and now when I press space, you can see that it says space pressed down. But if I hold down the space button, nothing happens. Right now I'm holding down on space, and you can see that there are still 5 messages. It's not increasing. And that's because we did a space down event, which is different from holding space down. All right, next let's add a jump hold event. So I'm trusting you guys to do that part yourself. So that's just adding another input action to the input node right here. And what we can do is go ahead and create another log again. And this time we actually want to have this hold action attached to be-enable. So what's going to happen here is that when you click and hold down on the space bar, then this entire node will activate. And because the B clock is set to loop right here, it's going to keep on outputting every single update. So to test that out, all we need to do is just add a new variable again, another local one, and we can just add the variable type of string, and I'll call it jump message 2. And we can set the message to space held. And then just attach that up, make sure to enable the variable, but do not enable this log because by default we want it to be disabled. Then I'm going to press Control S to save and then press play. In order to demonstrate this, I am going to show the logic that's happening as well. So when I go over here and I hold down on space, you can see that this is enabled. And then right when I let go, you can see that this log node goes back to being disabled. I'll try doing that again. So you can see whenever I hold it down, the log node is enabled exactly as it should be. All right, perfect. After working through that, the nodes are starting to look pretty complicated. You have a nice graph right here. So next time we'll continue by working on adding a vector into this game, and I'll show you what that means next time. All right, thank you for watching.